Good morning, everyone. Waiting. Oh, wow. We have people already in the queue jumping on. Hello there. Do let me know who you are, where you're from, what you're knitting, all that sort of stuff. I'd love to know why you're here and what's interested you about this stream. And we are going to chat, obviously, about knitting. Let me just double check. I'm going to close these curtains over here because I think they're quite bright on my face. Maybe that's a bit better. I think it is. Yeah, let me know in the chat who you are, where you're from, and we can get started. Yes, today we are here to talk about all sorts of things knitting, obviously. I'm looking at a mirror on the screen, sorry. And we're going to have a giveaway because we're celebrating some stuff. I promised this earlier in the year. This summer we reached 5 million views on this channel, which is quite amazing. 5 million views, 50,000 subscribers, so all the fives. And this is 7 years of YouTube. 7 years of YouTube in March, and that's a long time. The last couple of years have been very kind of in and out, simply because of various things, long COVID being one of them. But I discovered in March that that the 7-year anniversary is wool. So I think that is wonderful. The 7-year anniversary of wool symbolizes a warm and secure marriage. This is the UK one. If you're elsewhere in the world, it might be copper. But in the UK, it's wool. And I absolutely love that. So a warm and secure marriage. But we're warm and secure. We're knitting on YouTube. Yes. So I absolutely love that. 7 years of Knit with Hannah, symbolizing warmth and security. Perfect. So yeah, I'm so thrilled with this, and thank you for being part of the 50,000 subscribers. The number doesn't really mean anything, but it does help me get seen on YouTube, which means that more knitters can knit with us and join in the community. So that's all part of it as well. If you're new here, let me know. I'd love to know where you're knitting. Which part of the world are you in? Are you also in the UK? Are you somewhere else? Anywhere in the world that would be awake at the moment? Probably to the east rather than the west, I would imagine. But do let me know. It's lovely to find out where you're all from. Louise is here. Hey, Louise. Top commenter, top knitter. You've been looking forward to this. You've been looking forward to this and knitting the front of a jumper while watching you. Thanks, Louise. Lovely to have you here. Sarah's here as well. Sarah from Wales. She's a member. She's got a pink ball of yarn next to her name. That tells us all that Sarah is one of our members inside the YouTube channel. So go and join the membership. You can get one of those as well. It means I notice you very much in the comments, and you get priority when I'm sat there with quite a few comments to answer. I will go to the members first. Christine is in London. Yes. We know Sarah is in Wales. Amanda is also in the UK. Fabulous. We have some UK knitters at the moment. Louise is obviously in Wales as well. Cariad. So yeah, chilling on the sofa. Oh, that sounds brilliant. I'm chilling at the desk in the studio. We lost a wall behind me. I feel so cozy. It's one of those days we've had muggy, warmth, humidity, lots of rain, thunderstorms, for the last few days, since like Thursday, Friday last week. And it's starting to cool down. It's very damp still, but fingers crossed it will dry up a bit. I do not like this weather. If it's very humid or very dry, I start coughing. It's really annoying. Okay, but let's have some fun, shall we? Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about autumn and Christmas knitting because I have decided something. We are definitely going to do some Christmas knitting. If you filled in that poll yesterday, the question I asked, do you want Christmas knitting, more Christmas knitting, help with your Christmas knitting support, and kind of like accountability? The overwhelming reply was yes. So we are going to do that. We're going to do that. I will make some more Christmas videos for YouTube, but we're going to do it in a bigger way somewhere else as well. So let's do this. Christmas knitting. We had a community. We were in a Facebook group doing Christmas knitting. Probably in 2018. My word, that was fun. But I can't be bothered with Facebook groups anymore. Okay, we have more people. Anne is here from Suffolk. Hi, Anne. Been busy all morning. Cup of tea. Yes, sit down for a cup of tea. And Wood is in Saudi Arabia. Welcome. I see all these comments appear, and I'm not really sure exactly where you're all from, but it's brilliant to know where you're all knitting. So let's start with autumnal knitting because there's a lot to talk about when it comes to autumn. And some of you will have been knitting all year round. That's fine. I knit whenever I feel like it. I pick up whichever yarn I feel like, so I just knit. And it doesn't matter if it's the middle of the summer. I was actually knitting the knit along cowl in the middle of the summer. This summer in the UK hasn't been blasting us with heat. So that did make it slightly easier. But it was still warm. It was still humid. And I was still waking up in the middle of the night because it was too hot. But I could knit, and I was knitting. This is the one I was knitting. It's inside out right now because I need to sew in all the ends. But this is the one I was knitting through the summer after I'd filmed all the tutorials because this is an extra one. I love it inside out. Doesn't it look wonderful? I love it inside out. I'm so tempted to keep this for myself and wear it inside out. So, autumnal knitting. If you've been knitting all summer, it's actually a time to think, do I want to adjust slightly? Do I have different things to think about? Because it's about settling in. We all know this. Autumn is harvest. It's just gathering everything together and saying, we're moving into a new phase of life. It may be 3-6 months, but nevertheless, it is a new kind of energy that we get at this time of year. And it's about finding your place in knitting again. What are you knitting? Why are you knitting? Why are you here? And you can take it really seriously if you like. And we all work and live our lives in different ways. Some people will love a real great structure, plan, calendar, everything in place so you know where it's going. Others will just like a kind of like a tick box to-do list, kind of, yeah, I've done that, done that, done that. But some kind of vision and structure. I'm a bit like that. I don't do the to-do list. I just kind of do a bit of a brainstorm, and then that's my plan for where I'm going. I have a business, and I used to be calendar, diary, everything in place, know what I'm doing, that's where I'm going, everything like that. So, am I able to switch off ads from popping up while you're talking? That's an interesting question. I don't know. I can't see it here anywhere. I wasn't aware that they were going. I thought I was going to get notifications when they started and I could just skip them. I've been looking into this and finding out. If they're showing up, then I'm sorry. Let me know when they're there and I can just repeat myself a bit. So yeah, autumn is about kind of, you can feel into the beginner's mind if you like. Like, if I'm starting anew, where would I like to go? You can actually think, okay, I'm going to have some really cozy knitting for the next 6 months. This is my time to say, do I want something that will be a longer project? Do I want to knit something and actually learn while I'm doing it? And that is what will really kind of set yourself up with a kind of vision, and then you can plan so that it's a bigger plan if you want it to be. So that kind of thing can be really helpful. Autumnal knitting can be about saying, it's the beginning of autumn. Where am I going? What would I like to do? And how do I feel my knitting fitting in with that? You can look at the rest of your calendar if you like and say, well, lots of things I need to do, but knitting will really support me. And that benefit of the calming, the restfulness can really support what might be a busy term at school for your children or something like that. I know I have friends with younger children, I have friends with teenagers, and the kind of it speeds up towards Christmas. It kind of calms down after Christmas, and then it speeds up again after Easter, after a break in the middle of the spring. So, yeah, this tends to be the most kind of fast-paced time of year for school children, even for university as well. Everything's getting going again. So knitting can be really supportive for that. If you're supporting other people and that is what you would like to say, okay, I want that support and I want it differently, that can be really helpful. Are there any knits that you're keeping your eye out for? Now, this is one thing that's really interesting. You know me, I've told you this before. I will buy knits and I will go to a shop and buy completed knits. I absolutely love thinner winter cardigans and winter jumpers. Thinner knits really suit me and I find them more comfortable. So sitting down and knitting this in sock yarn would take an absolute age. I do not want to burden myself with that kind of project, kind of, oh my goodness, I'm not sure I can get through this. So I find these kind of knits, I purchase them and then I wear them for many years. I bought myself 2 more cardigans this year and I had 2 cardigans last year. So that's 4 cardigans now, and I would just move through them depending on which outfit I'm wearing, which ones fit under a coat, that kind of thing. So it's just really helpful to just move through them and then air them between wearings. That kind of thing can be really helpful. But look out for things too. If you're looking for a specific kind of pattern, you can start putting the feelers out. You don't have to do like a big crikey, I'm going to go in to Ravelry and really search for this pattern for the next 3 days. You can just kind of put the antenna out and say, can I find it? Will it be in a magazine? Has my friend got that pattern and I like the one that she's wearing? I actually, years ago, my friend's husband, who obviously was also a friend, he was wearing a jumper and I could tell that it was hand knitted. So I immediately went to her and I said, can I have that pattern or tell me where it's from? I want to knit that for Nick. And Nick's got that jumper. Brilliant. So I know the pattern. I knew the yarn. I felt it was easy to knit and I just wanted to knit it. So you could look out for that kind of thing too. Will a friend be wearing something or will a friend be knitting something? And you say, that's exactly what I'm looking for. So that kind of thing is definitely worth doing. Look for something because someone else has it. But also just look out for the knitting patterns. Maybe if you're going around a supermarket and you can see all of the knitting magazines, just have a quick flick through them. That's what I tend to do. Nick loves going in WH Smith's. That's like the big newsagent, bookshop, stationery store in the UK. All of you on the call will know that. But anyone who's outside of the UK, just so you know, it's got magazines, it's got books, it's got tons of stationery, it's got art supplies, it's a lot of the WH Smiths, if they're larger ones, they now have a little post office section in them as well. So that's really helpful. But they are just a really nice, cozy kind of shop. And the magazine selection is massive. So Nick and I will go in there. Nick wants to look at magazines, so he will go to looking at the Mac OS magazine and the Radio Ham magazine and the music and Doctor Who and that sort of thing. I will have a quick through the Doctor Who magazine too, but I will also go through the knitting and the sewing and the home and living and just flick through them and see if there's anything that I want. Also, if there's a knitting magazine, some of them are like 7.99 or 6.99. If there's maybe 2 patterns in there or even 1 pattern, I go, that's exactly what I want. I will get that magazine because I want that magazine and I want that specific pattern. But I will look at the pattern and say, is this easy to knit? Is this the kind of yarn that I want? Or this sort of thing. So then I don't have to get a subscription to a magazine because I will have Knitting Magazine, I will have Rowan Magazine, I will have Let's Knit from many, many years ago. But that's what I used to do. And I still go in and I look. I think I bought 1 magazine in the last couple of years because there was a pattern that I wanted. There was some inspiration that I wanted. That's a really good thing too. It can give you inspiration. You can see which kind of yarns they're knitting with, the style of those yarns when they're knitted up. You're thinking about knitting with one of those yarns and you look at it knitted and you go, oh no, that doesn't really work. That's not the kind of yarn that I wanted. Really, really helpful just to see those things. And a flick through a magazine is a lot healthier than staring at a Ravelry screen and going through everything on the iPad or on the computer. And just having a wander and looking at some magazines, I actually find that a nice, relaxing thing to do. And like I say, I don't buy magazines every time I look at them. So that's certainly something you can do at this time of year. Is there something that you're looking for? And indeed, if you're on my email list, then you know. I remind you of the knitting patterns that we've got and I tell you about new ones. Actually, a new one went up on the website yesterday evening. I should share that with you. Let me find it because it is let me find it. It is live. I shared it live yesterday. There it is. I will copy the link and share it with you. This is a really fun one. If you love clothes, you want to take good care of them, go and knit yourself some covers for your clothes hangers. This is a really great gift as well. If you've got some wooden clothes hangers, just a bit of wadding left over from your sewing experiments. That's what I used. I used leftover wadding. I used leftover yarn when I first did this, and I had a few wooden hangers. They're like 35 centimeters, so they're adult. 35 centimeter hangers. And I designed some covers for them. And I thought, this is going to just give my clothes a bit more protection. Firstly, that means I'm not using more plastic hangers. And some wooden hangers, they can be kind of sharp on a shirt's shoulder or something. They can maybe dent it or something. So I find that a really nice way to give them a little bit more protection in the wardrobe. So I've just knitted more and more covers now. I knitted a ton of them about 15 years ago when I first designed this pattern. And finally, I've actually put it on the website. I didn't put it on the website originally because I wanted to do a kit with it. And I went through all of the searching out wadding and hangers for everybody. And I thought, I eventually said, I can't do this. So you have the pattern now. Go and find your own wadding, your own clothes hangers. But it's really easy to do. It's just about taking your time. And someone could have that as a Christmas gift. We can talk about Christmas gifts in a minute, but that is an ideal gift for someone who really appreciates their clothes and just wants to take care of them. Loves a bit of fashion, and maybe has some really nice dresses, like a teenager who's got a prom dress. They want to keep it in the wardrobe, and they just want to take good care of it. That kind of hanger would be ideal for that. I have my really nice clothes on it. This shirt's on one because I got so many of them now. But yeah, take good care of your clothes with that kind of clothes hanger, and it's something to knit. It's certainly something you could consider as a longer project. Are there patterns out there that you're looking for that can see you through the winter, and indeed that you can knit for Christmas? So winter, Winter knitting is about relaxing, it's about hibernation, that kind of thing. Really appreciating the benefits of knitting when you slow down, one stitch at a time. It's not necessarily slowing down your knitting. You can, and I really do. Obviously, I suggest this constantly. Slowing down your knitting, but it's a slow pace of life in the winter. It's just natural. It may feel that people are still going to work, blah, 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 blah. But there's less activities. There's less activity than there is in the summer. Going out, doing things, sitting in a pub garden with your drink in the evening, you wouldn't consider quite so much in January going and sitting in a pub and having a beer. Not that I would ever do that, but you know what I mean. It's just the pace of life really slows down. All those good, gentle TV dramas go on at that time of year. I'm sure Morse used to come up in the winter, Inspector Morse. And that was just appreciating the slowness of life and the ease with which he would solve these things. Kind of, yeah, well, I know what's happening. Don't have to tell everybody, but I know what's happening. And we're going to find that criminal. Because Inspector Morse was like that. This intelligence would just kind of elevate his mood and just let him be really quiet and slow and hibernate. So there were other things about him that you wouldn't want to repeat, but yeah, let's just say that, shall we? I haven't had any ads appearing yet. I will skip them when I see them. I promise. Amanda says, I pay for YouTube Premium and that stops my ads. I do as well because I use YouTube Music instead of Spotify. I actually find that good fun. Yesterday, lunchtime, while I was making my lunch, I was listening to Motown playlist because I felt like it. And that kind of just listening to music on a whim is a lot easier than it is on YouTube. So I listen to it on YouTube Music. But I use YouTube for work and learning things and technology support and that sort of stuff. How do you use this piece of technology? Well, I'll find it on YouTube. I know I will. That sort of thing can be really helpful. But sometimes I just prefer it to watching some television. I am not a Strictly watcher anymore. Strictly Come Dancing hasn't been on my radar for years. I watched it originally, and I just don't watch that anymore. Saturday evening, I was sat there watching Gen Z, reacting to 80s music. It was such a fun video. It was like 20 minutes long, and all of this music was going on from the 80s. Rick Astley and Tapao, Spandau Ballet, or just all this stuff. And you kind of get, oh yeah, oh I know that one. I'm going to sing along to it, and then you kind of get, I heard this one before. Who are they? But it was such fun. So I could watch Strictly, and they could teach me all about dancing a little bit, as well as all the dancing and the chit chat in between. But I just love that kind of bit of fun. And then, of course, Nick and I sit down and we watch an old heritage, vintage Doctor Who. Oh dear. Right. So yeah, cozy knitting, longer projects as soon as it moves into winter, and we can start them now. All of that kind of thing. Sarah's watching Strictly today. Thank you for taking time out and being here for this. I don't have a TV and would never turn on nowadays, but I couldn't live without YouTube on constantly. There you go. Yeah, I do find that streaming. House of Games has restarted. Richard Osman's House of Games has restarted on BBC Two. It's the new series. Nick and I will sit there and watch that. My parents were watching that for years, and then they kind of said, you have to watch this. It's such good fun. But it makes us sit down at 6 o'clock and watch something together at the same time when it's actually on television. So there are so many times when we just say, oh, we'll watch it afterwards. But we actually sit there and watch this at 6 o'clock, and we love it. So it's It's good fun, and it really does stretch the mind as well. Because it was a new series and we hadn't watched it for months, I sat there and I was going, "What are they asking me? I I can't quite work out if I'm supposed to be answering this or if he just said something." So I need to get back into the swing of it. It felt so funny yesterday. Nick was starting to throw out answers, and I was going, "What was that a question?" Oh dear, it was such funny. Yeah, YouTube on constantly. Actually, there are some podcasts on here that are really good. The rest is entertainment with Richard Osman, funnily enough, and Marina Hyde. I do watch that. Some weeks, what they're discussing won't really interest me because the entertainment is more gossipy stuff that really isn't in my sphere of knowledge or interest. So some weeks I would just skip through it and I won't watch much. But the rest is entertainment is good. I do like that. Okay, Christmas. Shall we talk Christmas? Or shall we do the giveaway first? What do you reckon? Giveaway or Christmas? Giveaway or Christmas? Let's have some answers in the comments because I need some answers for the giveaway. You've got to go in the comments and give me answers for the giveaway. I want to know that you're actually watching. Giveaway, says Sarah. Richard Osman has written some books. Yes, this is an interesting one. He's written giveaway. He's written murder mysteries. His first one came out. Yeah. They are turning them into films. The books are murder mysteries. They first came out in 2020, and I couldn't get on with them actually because it was Nick explained it to me. It's third person present, and it was a bit bizarre to me reading it. I just couldn't put myself in the place. Yeah, I couldn't do it. But hey ho, there are books like that I just won't get on with. Agatha Christie, yes, can't go wrong with Agatha Christie and Miss Marple. Okay, giveaway. Now, I have this. This is what we're going to use. So I want someone to give me the colour that they want to choose. Also, they need to tell me a colour and numbers. I need numbers. So give me an odd number and an even number. One View Cornwall has given me pink. Blue 7, says Sarah. That was quick. Brilliant. So, blah, blah, blah. BLUE. Okay. 7. Is there a 7? Yes, there is a 7. Okay, what have you won? That is your picture. There. You have the orange and blue hats. Christmas. You're in for a Christmas, whatever's coming up, and you get that. You're in, okay? Sarah's in. Okay, I will just write that down. Fabulous. So no one else can choose 7. Sue Harrison chooses pink 4. I will choose whichever number is closest if we don't have a pink. If we don't have a 4 inside. Pink. P-I-N-K. We have a 4. Fabulous. Cool, this is going well. Now, everyone, when you win, you're going to go to the contact form on my YouTube, on my website. There's the list, and you're going to tell me who you are and what you won. I know so many of you are on my email list already, so I know. Right. Pink 4, Sue, you have just won. You won those beautiful little girls there. That's the closest number I had. You are confident. So that was number 5. You have won the Confident Knitter. If you already have these things, then message me and we can talk about it in the email. I will do something else for you. Don't worry about it. One View Cornwall. Is this Janie? You're pink 3. Okay, let's go for pink 3. Pink 3. I'm all over the place here. P-I-N-K. There is a 3. Yes. You have these 3 balls of yarn. You have the quick start. Confident knitter. Brilliant. So you can message me as well with that. Win. You have just won the quick start. These are all digital courses over on my website, so you can go and find them. Louise, what are you going to win? Blue. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we've already had number 4. We've just gone in. I'm going to find one that's closest. 2. I'm going to give you 2. You've won a trio of patterns, so you can pick those out and I'll send you a coupon. Email me. I know you're on my email list. Okay. Anne Gifford has chosen yellow. Y-E-L-L-O-W. Is there a 5? There's a 7. There's a 6. There's a 3. There's a 2. And if you're watching, tell me which one you want. 7, 2, 8, 3. Two. You're going to have 2. Okay. You've won the pattern trio as well. There were 2 of them. Okay. Amanda wants blue 3. B-L-U-E. 3. Has someone already won 3? Yes, they have. You can have the quick start Knitty Confidence as well. So we've had a win of the Christmas thing that's coming up. I'm going to tell you about in a minute. We have had Confident Knitter. We've had a quick start. And we've had a quick start. We've also had 2 lots of trios of patterns. Yes. It is Janie there. Hi. Christine wants green 2. I think we've already done 2. 1, 2, 3. G and blah blah. G-R-E-E-N. I'm going to give you 1 because I didn't have a 2 up there. You're going to win the Christmas thing as well. Fabulous. So all of these are digital. So it doesn't matter where you are in the world. You can win these. You can win them wherever you are, and you can get in and you can start going through the courses. The Christmas thing starts on the 5th of October. Anyone else want a number? And I haven't missed anyone, I don't think. Yes, Jenny, it is fun. We've had Anne, Christine, Sarah, Sue, Janie, Louise, and Anne, and Amanda. Yes, there we go. So if you're on here and I haven't given you a chance yet, then we can do this. But I just thought we'd have some fun with it. Fabulous. Okay. So the quick start Knitty Confidence and the Confident Knitter, they kind of go together. And you can go from one to the other. But the quick start is a slightly shorter course. And the Confident Knitter is a 30 days thing. The Christmas one, let me tell you about it. Because we are going to do Christmas knitting. I asked you yesterday in a question here on YouTube, do you want some support with your Christmas knitting? The overwhelming reply was yes. So let's think about that now, shall we? And I'll let you know what I've come up with. For Christmas, if you are knitting presents, if you are knitting gifts, we need to make choices. Because if we sit here for the next 2 months, I'm not really sure what I want to knit, but I know I want to knit something for them, then it's not going to work. Choices and decisions kind of have to be made. Um, and you need some kind of vision. And like I said earlier, you can have a really strong plan, everything in place with to-do lists and calendars and everything. Or you can just write down what it is and start going for it. And you also need to jump into some other things as well. And big part of that is, in many ways, it's non-comparison. Um, this is something I learned from yoga. Just I've never really seen anyone come up with this hyphenate before. Non-comparison as a knitter can be really helpful. I'm not going to compare myself to knitting for Christmas that I've done in the past. I'm not going to compare myself to knitting for Christmas that someone else is doing. I'm not going to compare myself to the fabulous model, professional photographs that are on the pattern when I buy the pattern. I'm not going to compare myself to anything or anyone or anything. Okay. And I'm just going to knit. And a big part of Christmas knitting as well is only recognizing, only saying that I'm going to knit what I can knit. And if things are on my list and I don't manage to complete them, that's okay. They can have that gift next year. And maybe I'll even say, well, they've got a February birthday, so I'll give it to them in February. I think one of the biggest things is not making massive promises. Lots of people will say, well, they want this, they want this, they want this, they want this. So I've got to knit all of those things. No, really, you don't. Just make some promises to yourself and let go of the promise in many ways, saying, yes, it's a promise. Yes, it's some kind of vision. Yes, it's what I'd like to achieve. And if I don't achieve it, if other things come up and get in the way of my knitting, or just if I've kind of overscheduled and thought that I could knit more than I actually can, that's okay. It's just finding some ease with it. And like we said before, autumnal and winter knitting is about resting. It's about moving into the hibernation, into the ease of it. So if you feel yourself rushing and finding all this speed suddenly because you want to knit faster and you want to achieve things, it doesn't really help. So let's just find that slowness, that easefulness with your Christmas knitting. So what I've created is a community, just like we have within a knit-along. There is already a Christmas planning course. So that Christmas planning course, go and get that, because that will help you decide what kind of plan you want. We need to make some kind of decisions. That is just going to help you go through and sift all of those things that are sat in your brain and you kind of go, well, do I want to knit that? Do I want to knit that? What am I going to do? I'm not really sure. All of those things that can help you find some kind of clarity. That course is going to really help. It's also going to help you find some X factor with your knits as well. And make those gifts so that someone is going to come up to you and say, thank you so much for that. I really wanted it. I didn't know I wanted it, but you've knitted it and I love it. And it's the kind of gift where a 5-year-old would immediately put the hat on and not want to take it off all day, all week. I got a pair of earmuffs when I was a child. I was about 11. I got a pair of earmuffs for Christmas. I'd never seen anything like it, other than the kind of thing that you might see in a TV drama. But I'd never seen them in the shop. I'd never seen any of my friends wearing them. Earmuffs, I put them on and I would not take them off. My mum had to kind of say, you don't wear these to sleep, dear. You're old enough to realise that. But you knit a hat for a 6-7-year-old, she will want to wear them for life. They will be so happy. It's the perfect colour. It's the perfect shape. It's something they never imagined could be made into this hat because it's knitted. And it's personalised. It's you have knitted it too. That can be so much a big thing. Such a big thing. Yes, 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 says Sarah. My son has decided he wants fingerless mitts, having seen mine. He can have the leftover pattern mitts from the Sashi Cacao. That pattern, I am finalizing it today and it's going to be uploaded. They will be small enough. Yeah. I squeezed them off so I could take some photographs. They'll be brilliant for that kind of gift. So yeah, um, that's the kind of plan you need to kind of create for yourself. Let me give you the link so you can join. And what we are doing with this is having a community alongside it. So we're going to get together and start the planning process on the 5th of October. And we'll do that for 2 weeks, 3 weekends. Then we will join back up on the 4th of November until the 17th. See how everyone's doing, get to knitting as well. You know, if you've kind of put it down a bit and felt like it's not quite working, or you've got some extra questions, you could even start planning again then if you want to, because you've done what you wanted to do for October. Now it's time to reconsider for November. How's it going? What do you want to do in that month? Then we'll meet up again on the 2nd of December until the 15th. And then we'll do that again. We'll have another chat. We'll see how you're going. You can share all your photos. And just that kind of community can be really helpful. For the moment, we cannot share photos on YouTube. This is something that I discovered yesterday. YouTube is beginning to roll out beta communities where you can do more chatting, you can share photos, all of that kind of thing is going to be possible. So I'm absolutely thrilled about that. If they kind of just shift and change the membership a little bit, that's what we want. And we can do this kind of Christmassy thing inside the YouTube membership. That would be brilliant. But we're going to keep focusing on works in progress inside the YouTube membership. We're going to keep going as we have been, because there is long-term projects. There is a basket of stuff that hasn't been knitted. We can keep that going as we move towards Christmas. It doesn't need to be abandoned. You can consider the Christmas knits as a second little niche that you're knitting for. This is the thing. If you suddenly go, I have to do this, you don't want to put everything down and say, pick it all up in January. And they go, where was I? What was I doing? I can't remember. It doesn't make any sense. Where was I on the pattern? All that kind of thing. You just want to keep those things going as well. And you're allowed to have a couple of things on the needle at once. So this kind of Christmas knitting, having the support and the accountability can be really helpful to just say, am I doing this in the right way? Does it feel okay? Does it feel right? You know, so think about that too. This Christmas community can be really helpful to just move it on and find the ease with it and not say, I have to abandon everything just because I want to knit for Christmas. You don't. You can knit alongside it too. So that's what we're going to be doing. I will be sharing more Christmas videos on YouTube as well. And feel free to mention on comments on the posts that I put up and even the videos as well. I'm doing well on my Christmas knitting. And you don't have to make a big thing of it if you don't want to. But it can be really helpful to come into a community. That's what we do when we're knitting in the knit along. Everyone is there, we're all doing the same thing, and it feels like a great camaraderie, kind of boosting each other and lifting each other up to say, oh yeah, I'm doing well. And someone shares a photo. Someone mentioned the other day, oh, if I hadn't seen your photo, I wouldn't have looked at it from a distance and said I'm doing really well. And I realise now how well I am doing because I've reached that stage of the cowl as well. And that is a real eye-opener. Having other people knitting alongside you, even if it's in a digital, online community like this, it can be such a great support. So do go and look at that. Christmas knitting, it needn't be you have to have a hat or a scarf or a cowl. It can be, or as Sarah mentions, fingerless mitts. Those are great presents for Christmas. You can knit so many other things as well. Like I mentioned, you can knit clothes hanger covers and make up the clothes hangers, and people will be thrilled with them. So that's an interesting gift. Shower scrubbies. Oh my word. Since we had that knit along in 2021 or 22, can't remember. It was one of those. I've had so many emails and messages and comments on YouTube videos. I've knitted more scrubbies, and they're all for gifts. That kind of thing is so brilliant. No, 2022, says Sarah. Yeah, possibly it was. I honestly don't remember. I don't remember. But it was one of those years. We did baby hats in the summer at one point as well. So there was that too. Yeah. So definitely something to reconsider and say, am I going to knit this for a gift for myself? And as soon as you say, this is such a good thing for a gift, more people will want it, and you can start knitting them up. You know that I love repeating patterns. That's a gifting item, most definitely. So does anyone have any questions about what we've been talking about today? Like I said, if you want something, thank you all for being here live, because it's your lives that gives you the inside the giveaway. I'm so sorry if you were asleep and you weren't able to join us in that. I would have to do something for everyone who was asleep. I will figure it out. So those of you who've won, do go into the contact page, send me that email, and I can set you up with an insider view. If you are, if you already own the thing that you've won, then we'll set you up with a nil prize. No worries about that. But if you want into the Christmas community, then that is £12.50, £12.95 every month. So you can get it now, then you pay again, and it's 3 months. And we start on the 5th of October, and it's 2 weeks in every month, October, November, and December. And we finish on the 15th of December. So it's close to Christmas, and it's a time when we will start thinking about, how do I wrap this? Do I want to gift anything with this? Like, for example, if you're giving washcloths or even the clothes hangers. Washcloth or shower scrubbies, you could give soap or shower gel with it. And if you are giving clothes hangers, you could give some lavender, or some little bottles of what do you call it? Laundry liquid that is ideal for small delicates. There you go. That's what I was thinking. Taking care of your wall items and your delicates. So that kind of thing is ideal. You can start thinking about that then. And you can even start thinking about it now, so you don't have to knit quite so much, and you can knit for more people. There is that thing too. Okay. I hope you haven't had too many interruptions with the adverts. I haven't seen any coming up, and I haven't seen that I needed to skip any. So fingers crossed. The one thing I will say is this is the video for this week, other than the shorts that are appearing. So the next big video will hopefully be next week. I haven't filmed anything because it's been pouring with rain. What I did film, it was working really well. Then I started editing it, and my goodness, was it boring. So I realized that nobody's going to want to watch this. It's a really important video, but no one's going to want to watch this. I have to refilm it in a different way. So there you go. The video you were going to have this week never happened. So that's why we're here on YouTube Live. And it really gave me the inspiration to say, what about Christmas? It's that time of year. What are we thinking? I mean, tomorrow it is, and I daren't say it, October, November, December, the 25th. Tomorrow is 3 months to Christmas. I know. Oh dear. Okie dokie. Hi, Ebony is in Denver, Colorado. I will give you a chance to win something because nobody else from the US is here. Nobody else from that part of the world. Would you like to pick a color and a number? Go for it. You can win something. It's waiting in here. There's a gift for you if you want it. Just write down a color. Green 30. Oh, 13. Okay, I will give you 4 because 1 and 3 adds up to 4. Green. G-R-E-N. Is there a 4 in here? The nearest number is 3. Okay, that works. 3. You have won Quick Start Nitty Confidence. Back to work after maternity leave. Oh no. Oh no, Sarah. And you spent such a lovely time with your babs. Oh dear. Right. Ebony has won Quick Start Nitty Confidence. So congratulations. This is in celebration for the 5 million views, the 50,000 subscribers, and the 7 years on YouTube, and the 7 years of my business, actually. So fabulous. Congratulations, Ebony. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 prizes we've given away. That makes sense because there were 8 prizes in here. Did people get everything? Oh, I didn't give away the winter knitting retreat. So there was that as well. Neither did anyone win the hat knitting bootcamp. So, oh, go and look at them if you want to. Go and buy it for yourself. Oh dear. Ebony, yes. If you've won, then use the contact form on, obviously you have one. Use the contact form on my website and email me. There you go. Louise has watched me from the beginning. Yes, you have. Bless your heart. Thank you for sticking with me through those years of I'm not really sure what I'm doing and is this kind of working or not. Oh dear. Yeah, fill in the contact form. Amanda, Ebony, you can do that as well. I've just sent the link there in the chat. I'll just post it again. There you go. So click on that, go and fill in the form, tell me who you are, and I've written down who's won what. So you can tell me what you've won and who you are. And as long as I have your email address, then I can add you to the course and you will immediately automatically be sent the link to jump in and start. Amanda, you won the Quick Start Nitty Confidence. So you can get started on that. You could even watch it today. Depends how much free time you have. Okay, I am off. It's a brilliant time to leave. It is 11:22. 1122. Don't you love it when those numbers kind of sync up? Oh dear. I have blossomed. Thank you, Louise. Thank you. I feel so much more myself and so relaxed. The confidence started blossoming. Like I'm sharing with you the confidence as well. Being on camera is a difficult thing, but I feel like I'm myself on camera a lot more now than I was in old days. Bye-bye. You have a lovely day as well, Sarah. Bye, Janie. Bye, Louise. Okay. Bye-bye. 4:22 for Ebony. I will see you all soon.